Hi. Hi, everyone. We are going live. I'm trying to find my pen. Here it is. We're going live now, and I'm going to wait for Debbie to join us. Debbie O Mewes. And give people a minute or two to connect in here as well. So let's see how it goes. Yeah. So happy to have you all here today. There we go. Yeah, so I think I see some people joining here. Let me know where you're calling in from too. And it should just pop up once Debbie shows up. I will make sure that I have my messenger open too in case she sends a message. So I'm a couple minutes early just to give us time to hopefully get through any technical issues that we might have, because sometimes that pops up and sometimes it's just smooth sailing. So we'll get going here. And I could tag. No, I'm just going to let it happen. All right. Oh, I'm still early. I'm just going to open my chat with Debbie just to make sure in case anything comes up. So I hope you all had a great day. We're going to be talking about affiliate marketing here today too, which is very exciting. It's such a fascinating field. It's a fascinating area. And for me, while I'm waiting, I actually read this article today about how with capitalism, there has become this huge discrepancy between the haves and have-nots, and how affiliate marketing and just the digital world is going to dramatically change the economy. It's going to change who has access to capital, who has access to making money. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what your education is. It doesn't matter any of that. And that's, for me, is one thing that has excited me. I'm actually I have a master's degree. I'm educated. I'm professional. I have loads of corporate experience, entrepreneurial experience. But I get excited about none of that matters in this digital world. It's really for anyone and everyone who wants to make an impact, who wants to share their gifts with the world and do something big. And who wants to create wealth online, because people are doing it, and there are people who have figured out how to do that, and that's affiliate marketing is one of those things, one of the ways to do that. And so it's just so exciting that it doesn't take anything special. It doesn't take it does take a skill set for sure, but it's very trainable. Anyone can learn these skills. And so that's one of the things that got me excited, because my master's degree is in social work. And to have equity in how people can earn money, to me, was extremely exciting. And so it was one of the things that brought me into this field, because just knowing that it doesn't take, someone who has, $40,000 or $60,000 or whatever to get an education. It can really be anybody. And so that's amazing. It's really amazing. So I'm just going to send a note to Debbie. That I don't see her. And so hopefully, we just chatted actually. So I know she's on it, even though she's 16 hours ahead of us. It's her 11 a.m. in Australia. But I don't see you. And so I know she's paying attention. I just hope we're not having technical difficulties. There we go. I am here now. Cool. Now, how do I add you to the page? is watching. Okay. This should allow me to do that. Okay, Debbie, I know you're watching. Usually a thing comes up that says I can add you to my page, but that hasn't come up yet. So, do you know if there's anything special I should do to do that, make that happen? It just usually automatically comes up is what I've been told. And that's happened in the past. It just automatically happens. So, folks, sorry about the technical nothing here. I will jump on my phone. Okay. So she's going to try this from her phone instead of her computer. Maybe that will make a difference. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. She said she has 2 computers and 1 phone ready to go. So this is what we talked about, making sure it works. So that should just take a moment. Thank you for your patience. Wants to be in your video. Awesome. Add. There we go. It's adding her now. Yay. So let me know if you're here and let me know, sorry, I have an itch here. So let me know, where you're calling from, where you're calling in from. So, and Debbie, it's adding you. There we go. Yay. Hi.
We managed.
So I guess the phone does make a difference.
Yeah, it didn't pop up on my computers at all, so it must be.
Good to know. And I don't know, how's the volume on your sound? Because it's not, I'm getting some echo over here.
Are you? If I speak it, you get echo?
It's better now. It's actually when I speak, not when you speak. I don't know. I'm going to take and see what happens.
I'm shutting all the computers down. There we go.
Yeah, make sure.
All right.
I don't know. Do you happen to have earbuds? Because I've been told that the earbuds reduce that.
Yeah. All right, let me go get them.
Okay.
Entertain yourself for a minute.
Okay, I will entertain ourselves for a minute. So I was just talking about affiliate marketing, and the basics of affiliate marketing is that you're bringing consumers and products together. That's basically what you're doing. You're not actually selling anything. You're just bringing the two together. And so it's really quite simple. It's nothing fancy but people still have a hard time understanding it because it's such a new concept. So there we go.
All right. So, is that better?
Hugely better. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Yes. So I just explained basically what affiliate marketing is, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Mm-hmm. And so you've been in it for a little while, for like a year and a half or so?
Yeah, about 18 months, I think.
Okay.
I count on my fingers.
Yeah. So how did you get into affiliate marketing? And thank you for being here today too. It's really exciting to have you here.
So you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. What I did, I was working in a spiritual field and working one-on-one with clients. And what happened was I crashed and I burnt out with adrenal fatigue.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see clients one-on-one for 4 months until I recovered from the adrenal fatigue.
Wow.
And during that time, I had been watching a friend of mine who was also in a similar field. She was in a coaching field. And she'd taken some time off as well. And so she was facing Christmas and it was looking a little bit bleak. And then she started this online affiliate marketing business. And I kind of sat back for a little while.
Yep.
So I must have watched her for a good month or so. Just, I'd watch her posts and all of that. And she went from struggling to making an incredible income. And once she got there, I was like, all right, now I want to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so that's how I found out about it.
Yeah.
And, and so I got started as well.
Yep. Interesting. So interesting because I think so many women can relate to adrenal fatigue, whether it's been diagnosed or not. Like some period in our lives where we just kind of crash and we don't understand what's going on, but our bodies just can't keep up with the world, with our lives, with our families. And I love how in your situation anyway, like it ended up being something that helped you to see an opportunity that you may not have seen otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the beauty is that crashing with adrenal fatigue for me was a gift, obviously, because it allowed me to stop what I was doing because I was just on a roll. It was what I knew. It was what I did. I just kept going. And I probably never would have stopped if I wasn't made to stop. So I was kind of put on my bum to stop and assess what was going on. And that's when I found this. And the beauty of diving into this is that because it's fairly automated and it's online and all of that, one, it doesn't require me to trade my time for income. So I'm not in that trap where, you create a ceiling above your head. You can only do so much when you're trading your time for income. And two, it allows me, because it is automated and it's online, it kind of runs in the background. I attend to it, of course, because it's a business. And I attend to it, but it allows me more freedom in my life to do my other passion projects. I still do the mediumship. I still do run retreats and do other things like that. And this kind of sits in the background and supports that for me.
Yep. Interesting. And so you mentioned a couple things that might be a little scary to some people, just like the technology piece of automation and online and like how tech savvy were you when you started? What was that learning curve like for you?
I am one of the lucky ones. I was tech savvy anyway, but I've got a lot of people in my team that one of them who's doing really well. She's doing really well with the business. She's learning and working at it well. Didn't know how to copy and paste. So
wow.
So that's like she came from. I have people that started with me that didn't have a Facebook page. They didn't really know what social media was. But there's so much education and so much training. I mean, you can take yourself as far as you want. And a lot of it is the fact that the things that I really loved, the bits of the business that really got me were, one, I didn't need to do the sales. So I didn't have to, run the webinars and do all of that sort of thing. That's done. That was done. And I didn't have to jump on the phone with anyone. That was a big one for me because I was so used to dealing with people so intensely in my other field that I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to do it. So they were like really big draw cards for me. Was the fact that, and I'm happy to learn. I mean, the learning is as simple as watching videos and following click by click and all of that, and you can take yourself as far as you want. But there's no barriers to technology. You don't have to be a techie geek or anything to do this business.
Well, and that's something I've really appreciated. I'm okay with technology, I consider it, but boy, I can get frustrated really fast. If something's not working, it's like, I'm done. I don't need this in my life.
Really?
So, so I've so appreciated that, that it is an automated system. I don't have to deal with that part. And I'm still learning Facebook and all that stuff is fine. And so, but it's a pretty quick learning curve, I feel like, in terms of learning all that piece of it. So, yeah.
And there's so much education there that it's easy, if you're prepared to watch some videos and learn, then it's all there for you.
Yeah, super. And so, so I also know there's that personal development piece to this business too. And you coming as a medium and coming from like this, doing spiritual practices, what has that been like for you? Like, Because I'm sure I meet women all the time who who said, and I said this as well, like, oh, I've done so much work on myself. So, yeah, what was there for you?
Well, firstly, the first thing, and I'm in the business, but obviously because of my connections, there's quite a few mediums in the business now.
Sure.
And the thing is that a lot of us will comment that, I've been over 25 years professional in the spiritual field. And it wasn't until I stepped into this that I kind of saw living spirituality. I saw people not just kind of saying the words and the love and lighters and all of that. It wasn't that. It was people that lived it, people that were prepared to look at themselves and their personal development. And there's so much. And sometimes I try and explain it to some people as it's like a personal development journey wrapped up in a business.
Uh-huh.
So you'll go into it, and if you've got blocks, or if you've got resistance to affluence and to money and to all of that, they'll come up.
Yep.
And that'll allow you to work on that. So it really does. It's a training in opening to receive, I think. And once you master that, the flow of the business just happens for you. I sometimes talk about the business as having a soul of its own, or a life of its own. And it's, if you're prepared to get on the same vibe as it, or the same frequency as it, you can just ride that. And it really is incredible. I really do think it has its own soul and its own mission. I think it's got its own mission here, and it's changing lives. But it's a lot of us we're in a position now where not only are we loving the business and involved in the business, but we're turning our thoughts now to how we can help on a bigger scale, how we can help globally. I'm setting up something to help women recover from, domestic violence and all of that, get back on track. But if I was still trading my time for income, if I was still working one-on-one with clients, and I would never have the opportunity to do that. One, I wouldn't have the income, because the income that I'm generating with this is pretty incredible. So I wouldn't have the income to support me. And two, I wouldn't have the time to do it. I wouldn't have the time to look at something else in the world that I could help and do it. So, I think it's got a life of its own. It's got a soul of its own.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Really fascinating. So, and I really love how you said it's a personal development journey wrapped up in a business.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Totally is.
Because I can totally see for myself how, like you run into blocks constantly, mindset blocks within the business. And then you get support for working through those blocks whenever they come up. And like, I've never seen a business like that before. Like it's amazing. It's amazing.
And have a look at the types of people that the business is attracting. All of them are, leaders in thought, leaders in change. A lot of them are people that have done a lot of personal development. A lot of them are spiritual thinkers, all of that. It's attracting, I think the business, if you look at the business as an entity of itself, it's pulling in the people that it wants. It's like, you can change the world, I'll have you. You can change the world, I'll have you as well. And in return, the business is helping us. Like the business is giving us affluence and time freedom. But I think the people that it's attracting are going to change things.
Yeah, that's great. And I just want to say hi to Neha as well. And so you've had a lot of women come into your team, I understand. Like, what has this business done for them? What have you seen happen for women in this business?
First thing I notice for the women is the support that they get in the business allows them to find their voice, find themselves, show up more, know that they're bigger than they originally thought they were, they're more valuable than they thought they were, all of that. So the confidence that and I think that's the that's the people that you're surrounded with in the business. Even though we're spread out all over the world, and we connect online and all of that, there's a vibe there of community and support, and I think that that's something that the women love. Obviously, there's women in the business that are retiring their husbands. There's women that are packing up the family and traveling the world.
Wow.
Kids are getting an education with traveling all over the world with the parents for a couple of years, because you can do that, because you're not tied to any location. It's, as long as you've got your laptop or a phone and internet connection, you can take this and go and do whatever you want. So I'm seeing a lot of people become free in Australia here. A lot of husbands were doing like fly in, fly out sort of work, and
Uh-huh.
so I know that a lot of people have brought their husbands home from that work, and yeah, it's just really liberating.
Wow.
It's really is changing their lives.
Well, and I love, and hi, Bryn. I love what you say too about community, because I think women crave that. And
Yeah,
it's so hard to find, in the business world, whether you're in corporate, it's too competitive, or if you're in a service industry, you might be taking breaks with people and hanging out, but you're not really like supporting their development and their success, and you're not
yeah,
getting support to thrive for who you are as a person.
yeah,
I'm seeing that in this business where it's women supporting women to just be the best version of themselves. And like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it is incredible, and I think because you become the attractive character of your business, you are the face of your business,
Hmm.
and so then women are supporting women to show up, to be seen, to be authentic, to share, share their past, where you've come from, and in doing that, recover from traumas and hurts, and become empowered, and look at me now. And I think also just the feeling and the ability to be creating the income yourself just from being you
Yeah.
is empowering, and I think that's what's empowering women to go further.
Yeah. And that's a novel idea of like, I get to be me, and that creates an income. Like, wow.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's interesting in that the more you are, and the more authentic you are, and the more real, this is me, warts and all, you are, the
Yeah.
better your business does, because people are not necessarily aligning with the digital side of the business or anything like that. They're looking at you, and
Yeah.
you're doing it, and I like you, and I trust you, and I value you, and I see how authentic you are, and you're passionate and you're loving it. So yeah, I want what you got. I
Yeah.
want to have a look as well. So that's why it's attracting that kind of person, and that's why all the change makers are coming in,
Wow.
because it's not, I mean, digital stuff is digital stuff, but this is different. This has got like a heart and soul. It's like I don't know, it's like an entity or a heart pumping underneath the business, and we're just kind of dancing around on top of it, enjoying the benefits of it.
Wow. So what has it done for you? Like if you look at your life 18 months ago versus what your life is like now, or maybe before you found out you had adrenal fatigue, like,
Yeah.
maybe 2 years ago versus now, how is your life different or changed? And not just the money piece of it, but just like, how are you different?
Yeah. Um, I'm different in that I think I've become stronger, and I think I've become more empowered just myself. I mean, I had a profile before I started this business,
Hmm.
but I was stuck under it. So rather than me being on top of my profile, I was underneath it, and I was trapped within it. So I had to keep doing what I was doing. I couldn't stop. I couldn't have a bad day, because then my who I my business would be affected. I'm talking
Yep.
about in the mediumship realm. So say I have a bad day and nothing goes right, and I'm wrong in all aspects and all of that, then my business is affected by that. So I was always under that pressure of myself and what I'd created for myself. Whereas this has taken the pressure off at all, because I know, and it's kind of a paradox, because it's taken the pressure off, my passion work that I do is way more amazing than it ever used to be, because I'm not under pressure. So because I'm not under pressure to make an income from what I did, I can now know that the income's happening, and I can do this for the love of it, or I can do it for the passion of it, or you know, if you're a healer or something, you can do it. And what that does is that unlocks something, and it you're not under pressure of yourself, and you're more free, so therefore everything flows better. So that's the first thing it did. It actually amplified my ability in a strange way. It amplified the gifts I had that I was working with. It amplified them, and because of a product to do with the business as well, it totally amplified it. The other thing it did is it allowed me to travel like I could never travel before. I was booked up, 6, 7, 8 months in advance. And, when someone's lost someone, someone's lost their husband or their brother or their child or something, and they book to see you and they wait 6 months.
Yeah.
The pressure to see them is there. You know, you can't just decide that, oh, you know what, I think I might go to Bali next week, and sorry, you're going to have to wait another 6 months now. So I could never do that. I was always locked in. And since doing this, I've traveled all over the place. I'm free to go wherever I like. So I've traveled more. I traveled more in a year than I'd ever done in my whole life.
Wow, that's amazing. And I really love what you said about, I'm a parenting coach, and I really just love what you said about taking the money out of the equation of your work, of the gift that you have to offer, can free you up just to present your gift. And that's all you need to focus on. So that could amplify that. Like, that's really amazing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It totally amplifies it. Because you're not worried. You're not worried about, if I have a bad day, is that going to mean my business is going to crumble? I'm not going to get any more people or any. You're not worried about that. You're just free to be yourself, and as a result, it's always better.
Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, I do want to keep this short. So I think we're probably just going to wrap it up. And is there anything else that you think is important to share? Like, especially with women, is there anything else that you a message you'd like to give?
I would just say that if there's anyone that is watching and thinking, well, what is this? I don't get it. I don't understand what you girls are talking about, but it sounds good. I want to be free. I'd love to travel. I'd like to make the income. I would just say, get in touch with you and find out. I mean, it's as simple as watching a video. It's as simple as watching a video, and then, you've got the choice. You either loved it. When I watched it, and because I come from a psychic field and a spiritual mediumistic field, when I watched the webinar, the very first time I ever watched it, every fiber of my awareness knew that this was the thing, this way. And I'd seen a lot of things. I had quite a big database of connections, so I would get pitched a lot of things all the time. You should do this, or you've got good connections, you should do this. And I was never interested in anything. But when I watched this one, it was almost as if my spirit knew it was right, because every fiber of myself was like, and I was like a maniac for a couple of days. I was saying to my husband, I couldn't sleep. I was so excited about the concept. Yeah, I was so excited about the concept. I thought, this is the most genius thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I was in my husband's ear all the time. Oh my God, you've got to sit down. You've got to watch this. You've got to watch this. And so when I watched it, I knew it was right. And I think that anyone, just watch it. You'll know for yourself. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. But if it is right for you, you'll definitely know. You'll feel it.
Yeah.
And then you can just come and play with us.
Yeah, right. We get to play and have fun.
Yeah.
It's great. And so I definitely have the webinar. So if any of you are interested in just learning more, there's no commitment. Just learn some more, and then you can see what this is all about from that. So Thank you so much, Debbie. I really, really
You're
enjoyed
welcome.
speaking with you. Yes. So, and we'll be in touch again, I am sure.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks,
You
everyone.
take care. Thank
Have
you,
a
everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.